House, a show, a podcast, a videocast about me, Ian Bagg, buying a house on the eastern shore of Virginia. And while my mother-in-law lives in it, we redo the whole house. That's right. She gets to live in it, and we turn it into a family vacation home. And every week I talk to a new friend who works in the industry of construction, whether it be something from plumbing all the way up to today's guest, who is a consultant, and he also does he does architectural design, and they also have a cabinet company. Jim Monjoy from Monjoy Designs is going to be here. It's going to be a lot of fun, but first I'm going to tell you all about my week, because what a week it was. Oh my goodness, my friends. I was out in Nyack, New York for 4 days. It was so much fun. I had the best time ever. Listen to this. Renee's here. Chris is I forgot to do this. Chris is at jury duty, so Renee brought his butthole into the room.
Hello. My butthole says hi.
Renee's butthole says hi very often during the day. I was out there in Nyack, and they put me in a hotel called the Time Hotel, and it faced a cemetery. I was like staying in a hotel that was facing a cemetery, and I was like, during the day, I was like, this is bullshit. I don't want to be looking at a cemetery. And then it started to rain. It was pouring. And just before I went to the show, they had a flood warning on TV, a flood warning until 8:30 p.m. when the show was at 8. So I'm like, oh, this place should be packed. It actually turned out to have a pretty good crowd. But when I came back from the show, Renee, listen to this. My hotel that looks onto a cemetery that is on a hill, the cemetery is on a hill, and it's pouring out rain. Guesses what is on TV? Walking Dead. And I'm like, no fucking way am I staying in this room. So I go down to the front and I said to the lady, is there any chance I can switch rooms? And she goes, well, what's wrong with yours? And I said, well, it faces a cemetery. That's what not is a vacation. That is too much. I don't want to look there. And she goes, well, we don't have any rooms tonight, so you'll have to face the cemetery. So I closed the curtains as tight as I could so the people from The Walking Dead couldn't get me.
So question.
Yes?
2 weeks ago, you experienced an earthquake while you were on stage, and now you're experiencing floods?
Yes. Good point. Maybe I shouldn't mock Jesus as much as I do. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I shouldn't do those Jesus jokes. Maybe I'm the one that's ending the world, not the guy that is not people that are fracking all over the place or burning diesel fuel at a gallon a second. Yeah, it's me mocking Jesus. I'm the one that's taking the earth down. Shut up, Renee. I'm doing Adam Carolla tomorrow. I'm going to be on Adam Carolla tomorrow. I don't know when it comes out, but I'm going to ask him to be a guest. What do you think?
I think that'd be great.
I think we should have him on because he is a contractor extraordinaire, and he has a lot of people that listen to his show, and that could help us out.
We should ask for a tour of his house.
Ask for a tour of his house? Can we come to your house, Adam? I don't know if that'll happen. I'm looking forward to it because this week he's doing the advertising, so it might not come out until later this week, but it's a promotion for Ontario, California, which is next week. So this week I have Lake Chelan. On Monday, I go to Harrisburg for one night, and then I come back and I go to Ontario, California for 4 nights. I come back on that Tuesday. I do the podcast. I get on a plane, and then guess who's in Virginia Beach for a week and a half? That's right, me. And I will be doing some things while I'm there. So if anybody can answer these questions, I am going to do the addict. I'm going to insulate the addict. Tell me, if you're listening to the show, what kind of insulation I should be using. If anybody's listening to that show, I'm using the insulation, and I'm going to use the fiberglass insulation. So if there's a number or something or some sort of type that I should be specifically using, and I will, of course, I want to put the best stuff in. So if you can let me know what kind of thing that is. I'm also needing to, I'm replacing the upstairs bathroom faucet in the shower. Somebody has told me that that is a very difficult job. I don't like. It's not the faucet. It's the thing. The handle's stripped, so it just spins. You can't get any sort of temperature. You'll have to use whatever temperature there's on. So I need to replace that. So if anybody knows about that, I need to know if I need to hire somebody or if a dummy like me might be able to do that. So what else am I going to do out there?
Sarah Newberger said it's an attic, not addict.
What?
She said it's an attic, not an addict.
Oh, so we do have somebody watching the show, and that is Sarah Newberger. She is sitting on top of her throne, yelling at people, fucking here comes winter. It's an attic, not an attic. It's an attic.
And Sarah Newberger also said, "Yay, Renee's back. Finally, some professionalism."
Oh, Chris got taken down on that. Chris got taken that on that. And I forgot to say, send your questions now. Talk to Renee. Renee is watching the monitors. He will also keep the questions that you have for Jimmy. If they're not important, if they're just questions, we will come back to them after we let him go. But we will be going to Jimmy in a couple seconds. So if you have questions for design, what cabinets, whatever you got, please send them via the internet. And if you're not watching this live, you can still ask these questions because I'm sure Jim will check in every so often. And I put his name in the post. So Jim Montjoy, he will answer your questions. You can go to him if you need some work done. You're in the Florida area, hire him to do it. It's going to be fantastic, my friends.
So we have Jim on hold. I wonder what he's doing. He's making a lot of noise.
He's pushing his pencil, going, "Why did I fucking agree to do this?" That's what he's doing. We'll get him going. How much time have we done so far? I don't want to keep him waiting too long. I got a couple more things that I need to talk about. So I put up a photo on Instagram the other day of Lindley and Jason have a newborn child, and they put this. I was at a party, and everybody thinks it's funny that I hold a baby because I'm so uncomfortable with babies. So they put this baby in my hands. I'm holding a baby like this. I'm like, fucking get this baby away from me. And then my wife comes over and we take a picture, and then I see it on my friend Randy Ann's Instagram, and it's me holding this baby looking very uncomfortable, and my wife. So I took that photo from her Facebook and I put it on Instagram, thanking God for his blessing for both of us that we were able to give that baby back to its rightful owners. And I've never had so many likes or so many people go, "I thought you had a kid. I thought you had a kid. I thought you had a kid." And by the way, not one person said, "You should be a father." Like almost everybody was like, "Holy shit. I thought you knocked up that hottie you're with."
Or nobody said congratulations.
Nobody
asked where to send the gifts.
Everybody was terrified for that kid. Not one person was happy for me or that child or my wife. Everybody's just like, "You should never be in charge of anybody." And it's great. My mom didn't even fall for it. My mom's just like, "Yeah. You didn't give us a grandkid 2 years ago. You didn't give us a grandkid 5 years ago. It's not going to happen now. You're a dick. You and your sister have let you and your father and I down." So let's get to Jimmy. He's got a child. He lives in Tampa, Florida. He's got a great business. Please welcome to the show, everybody, Jim Montjoy from Montjoy Design. Hello, Jimothy. I like it. Thanks for being up so early. So tell us, Jim, how did you start this business that you have?
Well, it's a trick question. I started at 5. My dad was an architectural designer, so I got to pull the dummy end of a tape measure for, like 12 years. So I had to walk through bushes and hedges, get close to the house so I could hold the dummy end while he takes the measurements. So then he started teaching me drafting, and then I studied architecture at Florida A&M University, and then that's how I got into the business. I worked in the corporate America for 13 years. And then after that, my father had a design and drafting business. And then after he passed away, I took over the business. And so I've been running my own design and drafting service since 1993.
Nice. Well, congratulations. That is more than I thought was going to happen there. I thought you're going to, I just stumbled into it. But instead of stumbling, you were born into the business, and holding the dumbing end is nothing to be laughed at. And it's also where I'm still at life. So congratulations on that. How long have you owned the business on your own?
Yeah, since 1993, so we're pushing a bunch of years here.
Yeah, you're older than I thought you were. I thought you were just a young man. Turns out you're do you have other people in your family, are they part of the business?
Yes, my brother is a part of the business. He helps with the cabinet design, and also he's doing solar collectors. He's selling solar power collectors on your roof, so that you are able to save electricity save the energy from the solar collectors on your electric bill.
Oh, nice.
So he does that also. Yeah.
We might have to have him on the show because a lot of people are interested in solar that listen to the show. I'm one that's interested in solar. Do you own a house yourself?
Actually, I don't because I haven't found the right lot yet. So one of these days I'll be able to find a piece of property that I designed the house that I want to have. But I've designed a couple of hundred houses for people who love the lot and love their design and they have their new home. So I'm still working on that end goal one day.
What kind of lot are you looking for?
I would like to have something in the city. So I like to have a 50 wide by 150 deep, so that I have a nice house, a pool, and a man cave in the backyard with an outdoor barbecue grill, and so we just hang out and enjoy this beautiful Florida weather.
I like what you do out there. That is awesome. I'll be coming over for that. I've been to barbecue many times with Jimmy. We love to go for barbecue. When you're designing the houses, what's the first three things that most people want in a house?
Well, it depends. Some people focus on the exterior of the house. Some people focus on, bedroom separation where the kids are on one side.
We seem to be losing.
Let's call him back. It looks like we're losing him.
We're gonna call you right back, Jimmy, because we seem to have lost you. Yep, there we've lost him. Reconnecting. There's a poor. Talking to everybody. Just to let everybody know, when you're doing the In-Bagg show, you should go via the, you know what we might have to do, Renee? We might have to call them as soon as we're, not leave them on hold. I think that's what's happening. I think that's what we're struggling. When we leave them on hold for when we start off, we might have to call them. Sorry, Jimmy, we lost you there. We're discussing our technical difficulties out here, so we'll have to change that.
Okay.
So we got it to the top three things that people want on a house. First one you said was exterior design.
Right.
Can you tell us more about exterior design? What kind of things do people like?
Well, a lot of people, like down here in Florida, people like, nice front porch, having, nice gable roof pitches in the front, columns, the use of stone, and now we're using a lot of hardy siding, big, nice picture windows so that they have the use of color, and then how the exterior flows into what they feel like. So you can go from a Mediterranean style house or a Georgian or ranch style. So people want that look when you're driving by, you go, oh man, that's the house that I like.
Right.
Because that's the first thing you're going to see when you drive by the house is what the exterior looks like.
Right. Question for you there on something that you brought up, the hardy board. You say a lot of people use the hardy board. What makes that so popular now? Because of the weather resistance. It's waterproof.
It's still difficult to install, but it's something that lasts. Whereas, for years people were using pine and cedar on the outside of the house. It gets weathered. You have to do so much stain and other type of water treatment to it so that, it can hang on and last, but it doesn't because some people don't like gutters. So the eaves of their houses start to rot. So with the hardy siding, you can use it at your eave, your trim, your siding, and it's something that's going to hold up through the test of time.
Does the paint stick to it better,
yeah, the paint does, because also hardy has a stain grade, already painted grade siding or trim that you can use, or you can just get the regular siding, put your primer on, paint it whatever color that you want. But the one that is already stain grade or paint grade, that's a little bit more expensive than what you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's on a regular basis for your project.
And as far as the hardy board, does it matter what type of climate you're in? Does it work just as well in a northern climate or?
Well, because I'm, here in Florida, I'm not sure how does it work well in the northern climate, but it works great down here.
Right. So it's great for humidity and rain and stuff like that. It keeps the elements out. Okay. Question. Yeah. And now the next one you said, number 2 was planning of the house, the bedrooms being separate from.
Right.
That's when we lost you. So
the master bedroom is always, a nice large room with a walk-in closet. Features where you have male, female vanities and tub and large showers. And then on the kids side, a lot of people like to have Jack and Jill bathrooms where, the daughters can share or the sons can share. but they're on the other side of the house. So you have a separation where you don't have to worry about the kids being close to the parental side, but you just kind of control the flow of what goes on between the family group during the day-to-day basis in the design.
Nice. And number 3, what was it? What was the last thing that you say?
Was the open floor plan, where you have a nice, beautiful, immaculate kitchen that is exposed, featured to everybody. Where when you have the big get together, you have where you serving from the kitchen area. You're looking out into the large family room with the big 60-inch TV, and enjoy the whole camaraderie of food, family, and entertainment together at one time.
Question for you: do you think the open floor plan will ever become something that people will not want? Because I know
that's a good.
Because it used to be everything was cut off, right? And then all of a sudden this open floor plan's coming, and I don't see people going back to that cut off thing again ever.
I really don't see that unless people building these mini mansions that are still have the open floor plan. So I think it's gonna be a long time before a floor plan starts getting to where you want a separate living room, separate dining room, a foyer, then the family room. Because what you're doing, you're just adding square footage to your house by having all these multiple different spaces that can all be used as one single space.
Does it save money to have the? Oh, did we lose him? Does it save money to? Well, all I'm seeing is the. Oh, there he is. You're taking calls. Does it save money to have the open floor concept? Is it a concept? I think it's a concept, right? Because you don't have to build the walls. Are you saving money on not having to put as much stuff in?
Not really, because your design is going to be based upon square footage always. So it's in the design, how big of a house are you going to build? Are you building an 1,800 square foot or a 2,000 square foot house? You can still have, because all those walls are interior, they're not that expensive to build. It's just the layout itself and the size of house that you want. I've designed a house that was over 3,000 square feet, and pretty much all the walls were just the walls that were separating the bedroom spaces. And then you just walk out of the hallways from the bedrooms. You just walked into a big, giant open floor plan.
That's interesting. I like that a lot. That's very nice. And that's the biggest house you've ever built was 3,000?
No, I did a house out in Terra Verde that was close to 6,000 square feet. So
Son of a.
That's probably about the biggest house that I've designed. Let
me ask you, were they the cheapest people ever?
Oh, yeah, they were. They were cutting corners everywhere. And one of the funniest days, there was, speculating the price and upset about the price. And then the owner says, "Hey, we're leaving, but you got to sign for these $5,000 Afghan rugs we're having delivered from the UPS driver." And I was like, y'all nickel and diamond on the roof, and you putting $5,000 rugs. It was like 5 of them, at, $5,000 a piece. Just rugs. Just rugs.
And meanwhile, they want to skimp on the roof, which will keep the carpets dry. Bunch of idiots.
Exactly.
It's funny that why wouldn't you just go with 5,000 square feet and up the value on everything that you put into the house? So, you're saving money that way and able to do better stuff. I would think that would be the way to go. Because at some point, and correct me if I'm wrong, 5,000 and 6,000, there's no difference.
No, it's not. There's not, because you got material and labor, and then and sorry for the contractors. Not only you have material and labor, but you have workman's comp insurance, you have builder's risk insurance, you have general liability insurance. So his overhead is also eaten up by general condition costs to build, this house. So if you spend $10,000 on cabinets, that's a good idea. But then put extra money in insulation, put extra money in your windows. Don't get cheap on windows, because it helps keep the fenestration, the envelope of the house good. Right. Buy good doors, but you can be cheap on molding. You can get plastic molding and paint it. You don't have to worry about it. But,
right.
If you want handcrafted tool molding, well, then if you want to spend that dollar, spend that dollar.
When you design a house for yourself, what is the one thing you want to put in? And I think you may have answered it, the backyard. You want the pool and the backyard and the barbecue and stuff. But is there anything else? Like, to me, one of the things that disappoints me on our house is our front door cannot be. I'd like a huge front door. I'd like the two things on the side, and because of where it's placed, you can't do that. Do you like that? Do you like a big front door?
Oh, I love a big classic front door, big classic oval front door, double door that has wrought iron, has the nice hinges and door handles that, is very impressive. There's a lot of things you can do that really, pops a house out. I like windows as far as the exterior feature, but if I were spending a lot of money on a house, I really want a nice, super high-end kitchen on the inside.
Right.
Because I like to cook.
Right.
And, cooking to me is like my passion outside of drawing all day. So I like to walk into a house where even if I'm just popping popcorn, I'm like, wow, that's a nice Wolf range that I'm popping that popcorn on. Or if I'm doing a fancy dinner, I'm like, oh, wow, I got a great pantry and,
right.
Nice refrigerator. I have enough stuff to accommodate the dinner party.
Is there something in Florida that we don't, because you guys have so many hurricanes and the weather and stuff like that, is there some sort of window that the rest of the country doesn't know about, or some sort of that keeps...
Well, we have impact windows here, which I always found it funny. There's a company called PGT that sells impact windows, and they had a commercial where a guy and his daughter were helping all his family and friends board up their windows with plywood because a hurricane is coming. And then they come back over to his house and they had no plywood or anything. They just had the beautiful windows. And you see the storm coming if to say, well, our house will survive the storm because we have impact windows. So a projectile going 120 miles an hour will not penetrate our windows because we have PGT windows. I just kind of find it funny because if a hurricane's coming, I'm going to board up my house, and if I can get out of town and come back in 5 days and I build and design houses, I'm still leaving town because I don't want to deal with all the other ramifications of a hurricane coming through.
When it's coming, it's not the at the end of the day, it's everything added up that's gonna affect you. Wouldn't you still board up those windows anyways? Just because if something's flying at 120 miles an hour, it's gonna leave a ding. So it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you money no matter what.
I would definitely put plywood in front of my windows. If I know there's a Class 4 hurricane coming, I'm gonna board it up.
I love it. Do you do anything with I've looked at the pavement. It's kind of a green pavement, so it lets the water soak into it. Do you know what I'm talking about at all?
Right. It's impervious. It's pervious paint pavers. Because like here we have these oak tree problems. So when you have a 42-inch round oak tree, the area has to be pervious so that the water can seep through. So you don't want to have impervious so that the water can't seep through because the tree still is going to grow and they naturally, soak up water for their growth. So pervious pavers still allows for the trees to grow. So we have a code here in the city of Tampa whereby if you have a 42-inch oak or 36-inch oak, you have to have pervious pavers around it so the tree can still grow. So it still gets moisture, water for its growth.
Do you think we should be doing that more everywhere just to help the environment?
Yeah. To help because like one of our problems here is that we don't have a good water drainage system in some parts of South Tampa. Our streets flood because of the rain, the summer rains that we have. So we have to, by design, sheet our water off our property to the streets. We can't, when you design a new house, sheet your water to your neighbor's yard because you'll end up flooding them out. Right. So if
my parents have that. My parents have that in our town. The two houses beside them are up above, and then their property's down, and the water all comes into their yard, and they still won't fucking sell. Well, that's awesome. What is something that out there for a house that people have been starting to put in that makes you excited? Like,
what is something? Really, nothing yet. I hate to say that. There's nothing.
You're bitter. You're bitter, Jim.
Yeah, Right, because I just get inundated with product all the time because everybody goes on the internet and it's constantly, did you see this? Did you see that?
Right.
And it's like, that's just kind of like looking at cars right now.
Right.
There's no car out there on the street that really if I had $1 million, yeah, I want a Ferrari, but I don't have $1 million, so everything else is
So Kia.
everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Last question before I go. I asked at the beginning. I said to anybody, I'm doing some insulation in the attic upstairs. And is there a specific type of insulation? I'm going with the pink fiberglass. So is there a number that I should be looking for, or anything specific that's? I'm trying not to cut corners. I'm trying to help the situation out.
All right, so I would think in your climate condition, you're probably looking at an R38.
R38.
Orange corn, yeah, R38. It's a nice padded insulation. I'm sure you had people talk to you about isoline, the foam insulation that you put in, but there's a couple of things that you always have to be careful with the foam insulation. If they foam your entire attic, I just pray that you never have to have a roof leak. Because what the foam does, it goes up the rafters,
Uh-huh.
between the rafters, and then it goes on the ceiling. But when the roofer has to come and change the roof out and you have a damaged sheeting on your roof, then when they pull that off, they pull in the foam out. Then you have to go back in and refoam. So that's why R38 is very good. But when you're doing the attic, when you're redoing the foam in your attic, please check your AC system. Because here in the state of Florida, we're going, one of the processes, if you're upgrading your house, you need to start the process. Start with your windows. Get better windows that have argon gas, double pane. Then go to your AC system. Get a higher SEER AC system. Then foam in or replace your insulation in your house. So then now you have a more controlled envelope that does not have air escaping from the house, but it's making a tight envelope so that you have a nice cool condition or a nice warm condition in the wintertime.
Nice. You heard that, everybody? You hear that? Did you listen to Jim? Did he tell you? Take care of those situations. Get yourself some double paned argon windows. Put them in there.
Yes.
And then make that in. I lied to you. I have one more question. Do you guys do by chance? Do you do so if we're doing a laundry room cabinetry? Do you guys do that?
Yes.
Okay.
We do.
I'm gonna contact you later, and I'm gonna say, hey Jim, what kind of deal? How far do you ship? Do you ship to Virginia?
Yeah, I ship to Virginia. We ship all over the United States.
All over the United States. Jim Montjoy.
Uh-huh.
And I said to him, the other day, what's your guys' website? And he said, we don't have a website. We got to get one. I said, you fucking get a website, Jim. God damn it. You get a website. Thank you for talking with us. And I would love to talk to you again. You're full of knowledge. And he's down in Tampa. If you're in Tampa and you need some design, you need some cabinets, go contact Jim Montjoy, Montjoy Designs in Tampa, Florida. He's an old friend of mine and we love barbecue together. And he's going to have a fancy kitchen one day and I'm going to go over and have some barbecue. So get that house done, Jim, so I can come see you.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Have a good day.
You too.
Renee, did you learn anything?
I learned a lot.
You're over there looking. You're like, oh, I don't know what. I don't want to board anything up. If there's wind coming, I'm not gonna leave my house. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna be stronger than a hurricane. I don't give a shit. Blah, blah, blah. Jim's got a lot. Do we have any questions from the internet before we go?
No direct questions, just comments.
Okay, comments are good.
Let's see here.
He's gonna give us some comments. Comments. We got comments from the internet.
Sarah Newberger says she likes him.
She likes him. She's giving a thumbs up. Jim's got a thumbs up from Sarah Newberger.
Jimmy Munster says love barbecue.
That's hysterical. We're busy talking about the house. I love barbecue.
Sarah Newberger said, wouldn't mind cutting my mom off more, so more walls.
More walls. She'd like to cut her mom off. Well, I think what your mom would like to do is maybe have you move out of the house, Sarah. Did you ever think about that? Maybe if you had your own place, you wouldn't have to cut your mom off. Didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Ellie Higgins Brisano said, sometimes I don't want people seeing my mess of a kitchen with an open floor plan.
I don't know. I really, honestly, Ellie, and I'll go to talk to everybody about this before we go. I think the open floor plan is just the best. I really do. I don't. What do you think, Renee? I think I don't care about the mess. You clean up the mess.
There's something about having a kitchen attached to your living room or anywhere where electronics will be, because grease flies. Grease has a tendency of going places.
Yeah, but you make it sound like the house is this size.
But it's still.
No,
I'm
I'm
think
against
the kitchen needs to be separate.
I think if you put the cooking area against the wall, if it's back not facing the open area, if against the wall, you're going to be fine. So. Is he still on? We still got Jimmy on.
He's on mute.
He's on mute. We're both like, holy crap, is he still on? I think you go with the open floor plan. You put the back wall is where the cooking area is, your microwaves and stuff and all that. So your splash is not happening. I don't think that you should be worried about a little bit of a splash from cooking bacon. I think your electronics are over there. And also, I'm going to come back to that. Almost every fridge has some sort of electronic on it now as well. So if you're really worried about it, it's not. Yeah.
But if you notice, any kitchen you go to, you could walk to the furthest end of the kitchen and look on top of something in the cabinet. There'll be grease.
That's because they're not good homekeepers. They're
anywhere,
filthy.
Anywhere.
No.
So
look, we have this lady named Maria that comes in every 2 weeks, and it's so fucking clean when she leaves us.
But if it's flying to the furthest part of the kitchen, that means
How big's this piece of bacon you're making?
In an open floor setting, that grease will fly to your living room and land on your stuff.
Anybody have an open floor house? Can you correct or confirm Renee's comments?
Ellie says I'm going with Renee.
Well, Ellie, you're fucking now can watch Renee builds a house on his own. Fucking, you're out, Ellie. I don't know. I think open floor, and I think you got to have the whole one side's got to be like a accordion window, and you can go onto the deck. That's what you got to do. I like the way I'm just out here spending money like a motherfucker. I will be doing the upstairs attic. I will be doing the insulation by myself. I will be taking some photos. I will be taking some video of it. So get ready for that, ladies and gentlemen. That's happening in 2 weeks. Next week, I don't know who we have for a guest, but next week we'll be doing a show. The following week we'll be doing a show, and the week after that it'll be a recorded show while I'm in Virginia. So check that out. Come see me this week. I will be at Lake Chelan, Washington. Lake Chelan, home of the Lake Chelan Monsters. Come see me, and it's a lot of fun. Also, there'll be girls on bikinis. Bikini girls. There'll be girls wearing bikinis on boats. That's what that town's all about. It's like the Okanagan. It's Titty Fest 2019. My God. Also, we want to say that I will be in next week. I will be at Ontario Improv. Ontario, California. Not to be confused with Ontario, Canada. Also, want to say hi to my friend Sue, who's having surgery and also lost her father today. And we're big fans of Sue. We just want to let her know that here at the Ian Bagg Bought a House show, we're big fans of Sue. And thank you for everything. To everybody else, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Make sure you check me out on what's that show I'm going on? Adam Carolla. Some Adam Carolla show next week. Send your comments, questions. If you want to tell me how to do stuff, I'd love that too. If you have information, share it with me. If you want to be on the show, I'd love it. I am actually looking just for a house owner to be on the show. I'm looking for a new house owner. I'm looking for a house owner that has had the house for many, many years. I want to talk to you. I'm looking for a plumber. I'm looking for a floorer. I'm looking for a guy that does roofs. I'm looking for everything. So, okay, if you have somebody that wants to be on the show and just talk to me, and I talked to my friend Randy Friesen yesterday, who's a great contractor, takes care of my parents' house and does a lot of houses in Terrace, British Columbia. Randy Friesen, you can get a hold of him at randyfriesen.com. I don't know if he's got a .com. I said, will you be on the show? And he said, nope. And I said, why not? He goes, because that scares the fuck out of me. And I know some people will be scared and some people will be fine with it. But I'd love it. If you want to be on the show, please contact us. Everybody here at the Ian Bagg Bought a House show thinks you'll be great. Hey, everybody. Take care. Goodbye. Ian Bagg loves you.